Hi Diksha Didi, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, so today we are gonna continue with multiple inheritance, and we also have our new concept that we didn't see before. So we are gonna start with the new concept, and then we are gonna move on to multiple inheritance.
Okay,
All right. So can you see my screen?
that's visible.
All right. So as you can see over here, we have a vehicle class, and then we have a car class that is derived from the vehicle class. Now you may be wondering what this access specifier over here is doing. Like we're saying public vehicle. What does that mean? All right. So there is a significance of this. We could have also said protected over here, and we could have also said private over here, right? So what's the difference? First we'll see public. So when saying class car that is inheriting from public vehicle, that is saying, as we know, private members are never inherited, so let's just leave the private member in this. But public and protected member will be when inheriting, the members that are public will remain public in the car class also, and the members that are protected will remain protected. So when inheriting, our public members brand and honk will remain public, so we'll have brand, honk and model that will be public in our car class. And then we'll have a protected attribute also, y, that will be protected. So if I just try to say my car dot y, we will get an error as that will remain protected, right? So we are getting an error. And private attributes are never inherited. Private attributes are only accessible inside the class in which they are defined. They are not inherited, and they are not accessible outside of the class, right? So this is the
Okay,
public access specifier over here, right? Next we have protected over here. What if we do protected over here? Then what will happen when we do protected? We know private won't be inherited. The protected that is already there will remain protected, and the public attributes and methods that are already public will be protected in the car class. So we'll have in the car class, we'll have a public attribute model, and then we'll have protected attributes brand, honk, and y, right? So if we run this, we'll get an error as brand, honk, and y are protected attributes, and we cannot use them outside of the class. We can only use them inside the class and in the inherited class. So is it clear?
okay. Yeah, it's clear.
And next we have private. So the private access specifier, what it does over here, it basically says the public, it cannot inherit the private, so it cannot inherit x, but the attributes and methods that are already public, public and protected, will be private in our derived class. So in car, we have public string model that is equal to Mustang, and then the protected attribute that will be inherit will be in private. It will have private access in our car class, so it will be private. Y will be private, and brand and honk will also be private, as we are saying private over here. So we'll get an error when trying to access the private members. So it's saying over here that honk is a private member, brand is a private member. That's why we are not able to access them.
Okay,
All right. So let's just summarize. Public says that we have to inherit with the same access specifier. Public properties and methods will remain public only, and protected will remain protected. When saying protected, the protected will remain protected, and the public ones will also be protected in the derived class. And then finally, when we have private, the protected will be private, and the public will also be private in our derived class. So this
okay.
was the concept that we had to learn. Now we are on multiple inheritance. So a class can also be derived from more than one base class using a comma separated list. So it can derive from multiple classes. If we have, should I delete this code?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so let's just delete this also. Alright, so for example, over here we have a base class my class, in which we have a public function my function. Then we have another class my other class, in which we have my other function, right? Next we have a my child class, in which we are inheriting from my class and my other class. Both we are inheriting, we are giving the before them access specifier public. That means that the in my class whatever public are will remain public in the my child class, and whatever protected will be there, they will remain protected. Same with my other class, whichever public members are there will be inherited as public members, and whichever private members are there will be inherited as private members. So we will have in my child class two public members now. One is my other function and one is my function, right? So we'll have two functions now in our my child class. So we have, when we can call my function on our object of my child class, and we can call my other function on our object of my child class.
Okay.
All right. So this was a simple multiple inheritance from where we can just inherit from multiple classes, and you can inherit from as many classes as you want. Next, we are on inheritance access. So access specifiers. You learn from the access specifiers chapter that there are three specifiers available in C++. Until now, we have only used public, that is members of class are accessible from outside the class, and private, members can only be accessed within the class. The third specifier protected is similar to private, but it can also be accessed in the inherited class. So they are just giving us an example of the protected access specifier that we have already seen. So let's just see the example. We have a protected access property, that is salary, and then we have a programmer that is inheriting from employee, and then we have all the public methods and attributes: bonus, set salary, and get salary, right? And when inheriting, we'll have a protected variable attribute salary inside our programmer class. Next, we are creating an object, and we are saying set salary to this, bonus equals to this, and when we say get salary, we'll get the salary. When we bring the bonus, we'll get the bonus. So very simple example of that, showing how we can use protected. So basically we are using the set salary and get salary method on the salary attribute that is being inherited. uh, is it clear? Should I move on?
Yeah, it's clear.
Next, we are on polymorphism. So this concept is a new concept that is not there in Python. It is there in Python, like it's not like named in Python like polymorphism, but it's a very simple concept, so it will be easy to learn. So polymorphism means many forms, and it occurs when we have many classes that are related to each other by inheritance, right? So when we inherit from a class, we sometimes may wish that we have to override an attribute or method. Like we have an animal class which has an animal sound, right? But the animal sound is not like an animal makes a sound. So a pig sound is not like the animal makes a sound, right? It says wee wee, right? So, and a dog says bow wow, right? So when we have to override the class, override any attribute or method, we call that polymorphism. So as you can see, we have a pig class that is inheriting from the animal class, and we are just overriding the animal sound, and we are saying the pig says vv in it. And similarly in the dog class, we are inheriting from the animal class, and we are overwriting the animal sound method as all the animals will make different sound. Pig will make different sound, dog will make different sound, right? And this animal sound method that is there in the animal class is a method that is for all animals, right? So this is a class that all animals can inherit from, right? So and every animal makes a sound, but in every animals class, like a pig class or a dog class, we'll have to specify what sound that specific animal makes, right? So we use polymorphism to basically override the methods or attributes that are there in our base class. So, like we specified in the
Okay.
previous chapter, inheritance lets us inherit attributes and methods from another class. Polymorphism uses those methods to perform different tasks. So, we are having the same method that is performing a different task. So, for pig, the same method is printing something else. For dog, the same method is printing something else, right? So this allows us to perform a single action in different ways. So for example, think of a base class called animal that has a method called animal sound. Derived classes of animals could be pigs, cats, dogs, birds, etc. And they also have their own implementation of an animal sound, like the pig oinks and the cat meows, etc. Right? So we can override. Basically, the concept is overriding of methods and attributes. So remember from the inheritance chapter that we use the colon symbol to inherit from the class. So you can see that we are using the colon symbol to inherit from the class. Now we can create pig and dog objects and override the animal sound method. Right, so now we have overridden the animal sound method. Now we can just create an object of these classes. So we are creating an object of our animal class, our pig class, our dog class, and then we are calling the animal sound method of each class, right? So we are each object. So we are saying the first object, that is my animal, will show the animal makes a sound. The second one will for the pig will show the pig says wee wee, and the third one for the dog will show the dog says bow wow, right? So we'll just copy this to just test it out. All right, so the output that we expected is what we are getting. So why and when to use inheritance and polymorphism? It is useful for code reusability, right? So it is very useful for code reusability, right? That instead of, like, for example, if you have an animal sound and if you were not able to override the methods, you'll have said animal sound 1, right? And now when animal sound 1 is there, then you'll have two methods, animal sound and animal sound 1, though you don't want the animal sound method, other one, the other animal sound method. So one is that overriding is very will make your code clear, right? And you will also be able to reuse, that is from inheritance, that you will be able to reuse your methods and attributes, and you won't have to rewrite the same code again and again. So basic advantages that we can directly see what is there, right? So now we are on the files chapter. So in this chapter we are gonna see how to basically read from files, write to files, how to edit files, etc. So you're gonna see how to work with the files that are there in your computer, with the external files. So till now, is it clear whatever we have done?
Yeah, it's clear.
All right. So C++ files. The fstream library allows us to work with files. So this library will allow us to work with files. To use the fstream library, we have to include both the standard IO stream and the fstream header file. So till now we have only been including the IO stream file, and we also once included the string file, that we said include and we said string, right? So we included string.h before also. Now we are learning about a third library, that is fstream, right? And this also has a standard namespace, so we'll give using namespace standard after it. So this is basically saying that include fstream, and both standard namespace we are gonna use. So there are three classes included in the FSStream library. So there are three classes, not methods. They are classes which are used to create, write or read files. One is the OF stream that creates and writes to files. One is the IF stream that reads from files, and one is the FS stream, a combination of OF stream and IF stream that creates, reads, and writes to files. So we have three classes that we can use from the FS stream library, right? And we're gonna see one by one how to use these classes. So to create a file, use either the OF stream or the FS stream class. So we can either use the OF stream class or the FS stream class and specify the name of the file, right? So to write to the file, use the insertion operator, that is, or the uh, two arrows. So to create files, we can use FSStream or OFStream. So let's just do it ourselves. So we'll say OFStream, and then we have the my file. This is the method. So we are gonna say file name.txt. So should I delete this code over here?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So what we have over here, we are saying OFStream my file, OFStream, then we are gonna say my file, and then we are gonna say file name.txt. So it will check if a file name.txt already exists, then it will just open that file in the program. And opening the file means it will be able to work with the file, right? It won't like literally open, it will be able to work with the file. And if it's not already there, it will create the file and then it will open the file. So let's just run this once. So as you can see, it has created the file name.txt, right? Next, what we can do, we can write to the file. We can say my file. So you can say my file, and we can say files can be tricky, whatever this is saying, but it is fun enough. And then what we have to do is always suggested to always, after writing and doing whatever you want, just close the file. So what this will do, if the file is already there, file name.txt, it will open that, it will write to the file, and it will close the file. So now if we go and check the file, we can see files can be tricky, but it is fun enough, right? So that it has written to the file. What if we just have this much text? Will it append or will it override? Let's see. All right, it is overwriting the file. So it has, if we have a lot of stuff over here, right, and we run the program, it will remove all that stuff from the file and overwrite it and write the text what that we have given over here, right? One more thing to note over here, when saying OFStream my file, you can have named this anything. ABC, you could say ABC, and you can say ABC and ABC, right? So now if I check this, it was already there. So let's just delete this and let's check if it is writing to it. Yes. So you could give anything over here. You could say ABC, but it should follow the rules of variables. How you name variables, it should follow those rules. It cannot start with a number, etc. So is writing to files clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
All right. So I believe, I think there must be the same syntax to do this with the FSStream class also. So the FSStream class is also doing the same thing. When we had OFStream that was writing to the file. Now the FSStream class can also do the same. So the FSStream class is also doing the same thing as that was mentioned above. Right now, how to read a file? What if we have a very important file, right, from which we have to read content? right? So we can use the if stream or the fs stream class and read from the file, right? So we can use either the if stream or the fs stream class. So now note that we can also use the while loop together with the getLine function, right, which belongs to the if stream class to read the file line by line and to print the content of the file. So what this is saying, this the if stream may, we'll just test that out, but it may only read the first line of the text by itself. So to read it line by line, it has to it can use while loop and say get line, right, to basically read it line by line and show all the text line by line. So if we just say we have multiple lines, first we'll not read line by line, we'll try to do it without lines. So we just have this file over here which has some gibberish, and let's just delete this code. Now we're gonna say string my text, and we'll create a global variable which will save all the text that is there in the file. Next we are gonna say, or we can just create that inside the main method, no problems with that. Next we're gonna say if stream, right, and then we're gonna say we'll just gonna say anything like read file, for example, and we're gonna say file name.txt, file name.txt, right? Next what we can do, we can just say first we are gonna say without the while loop, we are gonna say get line, we are gonna say my read file, and we are gonna say my text. So we are gonna say get line that we used earlier. If you remember, we used it earlier with the Cin method also,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Ramesh.
Yeah. So get line, we are gonna say then read file. So the read file, the file that we have opened to read, we're gonna say get line on that read file, and then we're gonna say whatever text has come, just save that in my text, right? And then we are just gonna uh, see out the my text, and then we are just gonna read file dot close, we are just gonna close the file. So over here what is happening, we are reading the file, we are saving the text using getLine in our string my text, then we are printing my text, and we are closing our file. So let's see what we get. We are getting the first line, files can be tricky but it is fun enough, right? So we are only getting the first line that we thought it would without the while loop. Now we can use the while loop to get each line of our text. So we're gonna say while getLine. So while it is able to find a new line, while the getLine function is able to find a new line, till then this while loop is saying while it is able to find a new line, till then just uh, get it and put it in my text, and each line just print, right? So print each line in the while loop. So we'll just understand this over here. So this is saying while getLine, and we're gonna say read file over here. So while the getLine function is able to find a new line, so first it could find this, then it found 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 this, and then it found this. So 7 lines. So while the read function is able to getLine function is able to find a new line in the read file, save that in my text, and then just show my text. So this will show us everything, right? So this will show us all the text, right? Now we could have also given a new line over here to make it more clear. We could have said end L, that after every line just enter uh, uh, enter line, so that it's clear what the file has written. So as you can see, in the same format that is written in the file, we are getting over here as output. So this is how you can just loop and get all the text from the file. So
Okay.
is the concept clear?
That's clear.
Alright, we could have also said fs stream for this. We could have also used fs stream for this instead of uh, uh, if stream, and it is doing the same thing, right? And this was reading files. uh, Files is a much deeper concept, but we can look onto that afterwards. So basic idea of file we already have now. So it's just opening the, yep. So now we are on the next chapter, exceptions. So when executing C++ code, different errors can occur. So coding errors made by the programmer, errors due to the wrong input or other unforeseeable things. So many errors can occur. Coding errors that we make as programmers, errors due to wrong input given by the user or other unforeseeable things. So when an error occurs, C++ will normally stop and generate an error message. So when we encounter an error, the program will terminate and we'll get the error message. The technical term for this is C++ will throw an exception. So any error given by the C++ is known as C++ throwing an exception, right? An exception is basically an error, right? So to not stop the termination of our code, right? Sorry, what am I saying? To not terminate the code in between when encountering an error, we can just have the try catch. So try catch statement, what it will do, it will try some code. If that leads to an error, it will go in the catch statement, and then it will basically execute something else depending on what error it gets. So that way your program will not terminate, it won't halt, right? And it will keep on executing even if there is an error, right? So we are gonna see that in action right over here. So exception handling in C++ consists of three keywords: try, throw, and catch. To create a try catch statement, you'll have to use three keywords: try, throw, and catch. The try statement allows you to define a block of code to be tested for errors while it is being executed. So try statement, whatever you give in a try statement, that block of code will be executed, right? Or will be tried to execute. The throw keyword throws an exception when a problem is detected. Whenever a problem is detected, we will use the throw keyword to throw an error, right? So it's like throwing an error ourselves, which lets us create a custom error. So whenever we use a throw keyword, it will go in the catch statement, and it allows you to define a block of code to be executed if an error occurs in the try block, right? So this is the way you are gonna write this, that try. So you always have to use try and catch in pairs, right? You cannot like you only use the try keyword or only use the catch keyword. You always have to use them in pairs. So over here we have try, right? So we'll try a block of code. If there's an error, we'll throw an exception. That thrown exception will be accepted by the catch keyword, and the block of code inside of the catch keyword will be executed. An example over here is uh, uh, an access that will access testing, that if the user will get an access or not. So we are gonna say we are gonna try int age is equal to 15. We are setting age 15. If age is greater than or equals to 18, you're gonna say that access granted, you are old enough. Else if it is not, then we're gonna say throw an error, right? And we'll tell throw the give it the age, right? So the catch statement is accepting a number. That number is
I'll be back in a minute. Sorry, I need to go.
yeah, sure.
Just a sec.
Yeah, sure.
Hello, sorry, I'm back.
Yeah, it's all right. So as I was saying, when it goes in the else statement, we are using the throw keyword, right? So the throw keyword will basically throw the age. So that means that throw keyword will automatically switch the code and it will go in the catch statement, right? So the throw keyword will it will automatically go in the catch statement. In the catch statement, it is expecting to receive a number. That number is the age, right, that we are giving. So what this will say in the catch statement, that access denied, you must be at least 18 years old, and then we're going to say age is whatever the age was, that is 15, that is less than 18, that's why the access was denied. So here's the explanation also. We use the try block to test some code. If the age variable is less than 18, we'll throw an exception and handle it in a catch block. So we are throwing an exception and we are handling it in a catch block. In the catch block, we catch the error and do something about it. The catch statement takes a parameter. In our example, we use an int variable mynum because we are throwing an exception of integer type in the try block, that is age. So we are throwing the age variable that is of integer type. So we have to accept an integer variable in the catch block, right? And we are giving the age so that we can tell the user what his current age is and what it should be. So right, so we are telling the user that you must be at least 18 years old and your age is 15. So if no error occurs, like if for example if age is 20 instead of 15, meaning it will be greater than 18, so the access will automatically be granted. So it won't be going in the else statement and it won't be throwing an error from which it won't be going in the catch statement, right? So if age is basically greater than 20, there will be no throw catch statement execution. So the catch block is skipped then, right? So let's just try this ourselves. So let's just copy and paste the code. All right, so it came over here. So let's just run this. So it's saying access denied as our age is 15. Now let's just say 20. So access will be granted as it won't go in the else statement, it won't throw the error, and then it won't go in the catch statement. So we are not getting access granted. Let's just run this once again. Yeah, so access granted, you are old enough. So you can also use the throw keyword to output a reference number, like a custom error number or code for organizing purposes. Like as you can see in many websites, if you go to a URL that does not exist, it will give you a 404 error. Similarly, we can throw our custom error, like for example 505, right? And we can just say error code uh, 5 minor, right? So for example, a page will not be found, then we can say error code 404. Now over here we are throwing 505, so we are giving the user error code 505 when his age is less than 18. So we'll just change his age to 15. So we are getting the error code 505. So we can make it more professional by just giving the error code, right? Like error code 505. Next, we have handle any type of exceptions. If you do not know the throw type used in the try block, you can use the three dot syntax inside the catch block, which will handle any type of exception. So what this is saying, if you don't know what to throw, if you have nothing to like if you are not sure if you want to throw an integer or a string or a bool, right? Then what you can do in the catch block, you can just give three dots, right, so that it can accept any type of value. But what will happen then, you won't be able to use the value that you're getting from throw. So for example, I'm saying throw 505, but I'm not sure if I will throw an integer, I'll throw a string or a bool. So in the catch block, I can say dot dot dot, right? And this will accept the error, but you won't be able to actually use the value that the throw keyword is giving you, right? So over here, you are getting you're getting the value 5, you're throwing the value 505, right? You're using the throw keyword and saying 505, but in the cache statement you won't be able to use the value 505, and it will just say access denied, you must be at least 18 years old, right?
Yeah.
So this was it. This was a basic C++ course that we have done till now in the 10 classes that we have already done. So I would like to ask you if you want to go further to the advanced course, or you want to stop here on the basic course, right? So if you want to go to the advanced course, I'll plan it accordingly. But it's your choice. We have done basic C++ now. We have completed basics of C++. So
Okay.
it's your choice if you want to just now go to the advanced course or you want to stop here.
I'll let you know. I'll talk to my dad and then let you know.
All right, no problem, sure. Till then,
Thank you.
I will also for your I'll give you basic exercises, your a link where you can practice your C++ knowledge, right? So that your concepts are more clear and you are able to get cleared with the concepts. So I'll just message you the link.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Like.